Well, I'm not very happy because I'm happy about one thing, but I'm not happy about another thing. Well, let's do the nice bit. One of my viewers called Alison emailed me and said, can you do something? I'm stressed out with the amount of stash I've got. Would you take 2 or 3 pieces off my hands? And I said, well, I'll pay for them. And she said, well, if you can donate to charity, to a cancer charity, I prefer that. And so I said, right, okay, I think she wanted the cancer charity or the guide blind dogs for the guide dogs for the blind. So I said, well, my mother-in-law, who's just died, she always donated to the guide dogs for the blind. And my mother died of breast cancer, my sister-in-law died of breast cancer, and my brother-in-law died of lung cancer, even though he didn't smoke. So I said, yes, I'm happy to do that. So she sent me some fabric, and this was one of the pieces that she sent me. It's a jersey. It's a lovely floral jersey. I don't know if you can see it. I'm kind of, if I bring you there in the light a bit better. It's a lovely jersey, and it's not totally my colour. Not a colour I would go for, but I think it might look quite nice. So she gave me that, and one of my other lovely viewers, and I can't remember her name, I did a video about a vlog about her, and if I can find it, I'll put it up here. She very kindly sent me some patterns, and one of them was to have a frill down the front. If you know where it is, that's one of the patterns that she gave me. She also gave me some other ones, and she gave me this one. I am Cinderella. So I figured I might make that out of this. Fine, not a problem. Open the pattern. It's one of these ones out of a magazine. It has sticky bits along. I've had to cut along the top there and cut along the bottom there because it was sticking to the pattern. So I took the pattern out and I laid it out, and I thought, oh, well, there's not much to it. There's just a sleeve and a front. And I usually would trace it out. It's just one sheet of paper. And I thought, oh, it's a sleeve and a front. So there's the sleeve there, and this is the front. And I thought, oh, it must be one of those where there's a front and a back both the same. So I started cutting out, and then I thought, oh, what's this writing on the back? And I suddenly find that there's a back, and there's a frill, and there's a facing, and I've gone and cut out that out. So in nowhere in the instructions does it say you've got to trace it out. So I'm very annoyed. So I've had to get my pieces of paper back, and I'll stick those back on as best I can, and I'm going to have to trace it out, which normally I would cut it out. Normally I'd cut them out. I have on the past couple of occasions traced them out, and I'm going to have to do that on this one. I'm going to have to trace it out. But when I've got it done, I'll be putting it together with the information about that one, and I'll do you another vlog. So I'll catch you later. I didn't have enough fabric, did I? Of that fabric, so I had to go for something else. Sent me this fabric, and I decided to make it with this. And this is what it turned out like. Now, I wasn't so sure about the pattern, as you saw, because I was a bit annoyed. I had to trace it out because the pattern was on both sides. And I thought, oh, do I have to trace it out again, twice? So anyway, I traced it out, and I thought, this is just going to be a one-off. I'm going to do this pattern, and I'm not going to like it. And I made it. And as I say, the one I made it with was this fabric that she gave me. It's a beautiful fabric. Look at that, lovely pink and grey blue roses. And I thought, oh, I'm not sure if I like that. But when I made it, it's turned out absolutely beautiful. The frills on the sleeves, big circular frills. The only downside was I didn't change my serger thread, and I've got like a red colour to it. But I think I'll get away with that because I don't think you can see it too much when you're wearing it. So I'm going to show you this, and I liked it so much I made a second one. And the second one I made was this one. It's just made, again, using my own fabric this time, and matched the thread up for serging, which was a lot better. And it turned out that I haven't tried that one on yet to see what it's like. Important thing about making clothes, you must press them properly. Now at first I pressed it on the outside and it left a mark there where the facing was. And I thought, oh, what did you do that for? You've all these years of experience, you know not to press on the outside. So just before there, I've turned it inside out and I pressed on the inside, and I pressed on the inside, so I was only pressing this outside fabric rather than the facing, and that made a difference. I've pressed the body of the fabric and it just makes it, I mean, it was all creased, well, not creased, but there were fold lines where it had been folded, and this looks a lot better like this. So let me show you what it's like. Oh, do you want to see my labels that I've got? These are my labels. Shishu, and I like this one. Handmade, created with love, 100% created, 100% worthy, 100% unique. And it's got the washing instructions there and a daisy. I've always loved daisies, so that's my favourite symbol. And I call myself Shishu because I just thought it was quite a nice name. So anyway, let's see, I'll show you what these are like on. Of this really sets grey hair off beautifully. It's a turquoise fabric, it's a viscose. I can't remember who I got it from. It was either one of the cheaper ones, Pound Fabrics or Pound a Meter, one like that. It wasn't very expensive. I bought 3 or 4 colours, so I may make some more of these. I quite like the shape, I like the sleeves. I didn't think I would like these sleeves like this, but I do. It reminded me of years ago. I used to have dresses that where the frill was down here. It was a cuff, went to a cuff there and went frilly. But these days, when you're doing anything, you don't want those in your way. So that was fine when I was a young girl with no dishwashing to do and no preparing of anything to do. And so the frills, they never got in the way as much. But I would imagine if I had those down to my wrists now, they wouldn't fly very cumbersome. So I like the way I like the fabric drapes beautifully. And I'm wearing, the trousers that I'm wearing, you will have seen, they were Marks and Spencer's and size 16, and they are like a, what do you call them? There's a new style they're calling them, can't remember, but they've got pockets, and they're a soft twill, which I love. But lately, with the weather being so cold, they've been making my legs so cold. So I've ordered some leg warmers, which I could have made myself, but I thought I'm going to get some leg warmers. So anyway, I do like this. So I'm very pleased with this top. And for all the fact that when I saw it, I thought, oh, I don't know that I like this. I really do. It would also go down well. I mean, it covers your belly well. But if you're pregnant, it's like a little maternity smock as well. So unfortunately, we women with big bellies, we could be taken for being pregnant sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about another one. Well, I got told off by my husband. He didn't really tell me off. He just said, what are you buying that for? Because we went to our local supermarket, Morrison's, and in the main entrance in the foyer, they often put clothes on and they offer them at a cheaper price. And I caught my eye on this dress, and they'd reduced it down to £10. And he said, and I said, oh, I'm going to get that. And you don't try them on, you just take them home. And he said, well, what are you getting that for? He says, you make your own clothes. And he said, I can't understand why you're buying it, because everybody else will have that dress and you're not going to look any different. Whereas when you make your own clothes, you're unique. And I said, yeah, but I've got something in mind. So anyway, I took it home, and the first thing I had in mind was I was going to dye it. And it was black and white. As I said, I've had lots of things that are black and white. I quite fancy dyeing it. So I dyed it turquoise. And it's come out turquoise and black. Now I'll show you it here. This is it. And it's got the sleeves, those kind of sleeves. I quite fancied making a pattern like that. Making a dress like that. But I wanted to see what it was like on as well. So I've dyed this turquoise. But I want to do something more. I've actually, a few years back when I was at the knitting and stitching show, I bought some fabric paint. So I'm quite fancying jazzing this up with some fabric paint. So I'll show you what it's like on at the moment. I will be wearing it over my trousers, and apparently the new fashion is to wear a dress over trousers. So although I'll have to keep my trousers on, that is the new fashion. I sent a message to my granddaughter saying this is the new fashion. Apparently around London they're all going around with dresses on top of trousers. Whether they've stolen them or not, I don't know. Apparently shoplifting's on the rise. So anyway, I'll show you what this is like. This is the dress. I think that goes back to the back, doesn't it? It's got a tie and a little tie belt. And as I say, it was black and white originally. So I've now got it so that it is black and turquoise. Loving this dress. Missing pockets. Hasn't got pockets, but I can put them in. I think Lauren from Vancouver once said to me, you don't have to have pockets to match the colour. So I do have some left of that turquoise, so I could do turquoise pockets or something, or do a jazzy colour inside, because I'm thinking about seeing, I'm going to test it first. I'm thinking about adding some colour to this black bit. Maybe it's not all over the place, but I'm quite fancying on doing that. But this is what it's like so far. As I say, I've got trousers on underneath, so please excuse me, but this is the back. And this is the front. So already I've changed it. I've changed the colour so it's different from what other people have. Turquoise is great with grey hair. It actually sets grey hair off beautifully. So I'm really pleased with that. There is something that, the fabric that I showed you, you will have seen earlier on, that Eileen gave me, that I was going to make one of those tops with the frills around the cuffs. Wasn't enough fabric. When I tried it, it wasn't enough fabric. So I kept looking at it and thinking, oh, it's not here. I'll have to show it when I get downstairs. I kept looking at it and thinking, it's lovely, but it's not my colour. It's not vibrant enough for me. So guess what went in with the turquoise as well to get dyed? Yes, that fabric did, and it's turned out a lovely turquoise colour. So I'll make a top from that. Don't know what top yet, I haven't decided, but I will make a top from it. So this is all of my current makes. I am busy making more flags from some fabric that I came across in my scrap things where I've got half a metre or whatever, that I've got on top shelf. Busy making flags. I will be selling those probably somewhere on Vinted or something, just for a few pennies, but it's just to make a bit of money and to get rid of the fabric. But I really like this, and I like the pattern. So if anyone knows what pattern that is, it's basically, it's got a bodice that goes down to there, and then the sleeves come out, and they've got a little bit of a gather there at the top. And so this bodice comes down from the shoulders down to there, and then there's the side bodice with the sleeves, and then the bottom is kind of gathered, and then there's a bottom frill as well. But I think I shall possibly, if I can't find a pattern that matches it, I might trace it off. So hopefully you'll have enjoyed this little vlog, and it's time to get back to normality, start getting on with things, getting a couple of orders done, and then I'm going to pop. His Lordship's gone down to Leeds again, so I'm going to pop out to Costa Coffee and have a cup of coffee and a little something to eat. Usually it's a ham and cheese sandwich, so we shall probably enjoy that. And finally, I am wearing today, I mean after I've had all my try-ons, this is a top that I bought And one night, oh, a year or two back, I think it was during COVID, I couldn't sleep, so I came downstairs and went into my workroom, and I decided to completely add things to this. It was all orange and I wanted to add a bit of colour, so I added some of my odd bits of fabric to make this pattern here. And it only had one pocket. I always felt it was strange that it only had one pocket, so I added a contrast pocket. I'll show you what it looks like. I added a contrast pocket here, and the strap was there. The strap was there, but I added the contrast pocket, and I did this design, and I did a video of it. And if you want to see the video, I'll put it up there. I love this now. I never used to wear it. I bought it and it just stayed in the wardrobe though. I kept thinking there's something not enough about it, because it just had the pocket and the button, and that was it. And it was just all orange. But I do like that I've added this design and I've contrasted it with this green fabric that I made a top out of. And I can put my hands in my pockets now. I kept doing that and there wasn't a pocket. So I do like this. So this is another one. Another way where you can just smarten up a top that you've got that's a little bit boring and add a bit of colour to it. Alison also sent me she sent me 3 pieces of fabric. The first turquoise fabric that she sent me, I showed you what I was going to do with it, and then I didn't have enough fabric, and this is what it turned out like when I dyed it. It has turned out into the most beautiful turquoise colour. You can still see the browns. So basically the cream has gone to turquoise, the browns have stayed brown, the greens have stayed green. And I reckon that's going to make a lovely top. So there's about 1 metre of it, probably about 150 wide, so that's going to make a lovely top. So Eileen she was very generous. She gave me that. She gave me the lovely pinky one with the grey flowers, and she gave me this one, and this is I think it looks like a linen, and it's red. It's a navy blue background with red flowers, and I'm just trying to decide what to make with this. I quite fancy making a skirt, because I'm suddenly getting into skirts. I haven't worn a skirt yet, but I'm quite fancying, having seen that, the little waistcoat that I made that was from the free pattern, I thought was Japanese, it's Korean, and one of my viewers corrected me on that. It was a Korean waistcoat, and the lady who made it, and I'm hopeless at names, I'll put her name up there, she's making a skirt as well, or she designs a skirt, and basically it's the kind of skirt we used to do at school.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Sewing Therapy. I'm Sarah. To guide you through the process of sewing your very own hanbok skirt.
You basically get your fabric and you pleat it all the way along, and you have it so that it's going to wrap around my body, and then you make a tie and you have a little hole where you've got a little seam on the waist. You pull your tie through. So I've got this in my head, and I might make a skirt. I might use this to make the skirt and see what that turns out like. So that was another piece of fabric that she gave me. And onto patterns. I bought some patterns, and the patterns that I bought were well, I caught my eye on these. I've done, when did it come out? 2022 by Closet Core Patterns, and I just loved the look of, I think I saw somebody had made them on Instagram, and I loved the style of the pants, so I sent away for the pattern, and it's Closet Core Pietra, and I liked the pockets here. I like this length, because for the summer that's the kind of length I wear, and I liked the fact that the back was elasticated, so I'm quite looking forward to making that. And not that I have the legs for them, but that would make a nice skirt. Maybe it's even longer. might be quite nice to make it, to taper it out and make it longer and make them into like a skirt. They call them skirts now. Now, a skirt up where I come from is a Geordie word for skirt. So you'd say, that's a canny skirt you've got on. Canny meaning very nice. That's a nice skirt you've got on. We would say, that's a canny skirt you've got on. So this, apparently the longer length shorts are called skirts. We used to call them culottes. But I do like that one. So I sent away for that. I'm going to trace it off. I've started tracing off patterns. I don't usually do that, but I've started doing that. And I've got lots of fabric that I can use to make. I'm going to use a cheapish fabric. I do have, oh, I'll tell you what I've got. I bought some fabric when I was in France a few years ago from a brocante. When a brocante is a bit like it's a furniture store. They sell bric-a-brac. And I came across in the corner, they had patterns, very old patterns, but they were a bit torn and tattered. And there was these rolls of fabric, and they were like men's suiting fabrics, and they were navy blue and in browns, and some of them had tiny little holes in them, but there was enough. There was enough of the fabric without the holes, not to worry about it. And I went away with 3 rolls of this fabric. I think there was about 2 or 3 meters on each one. So I thought, right, I might make a few pairs of trousers from that and see what they turn out like. So watch this space, you never know. And then I got a batch of patterns here, which I'm really taken by. These are all just to use up my fabric, really. This one, are they all simplicity? Simplicity. They're all simplicity. I think I got them special offer or something. I've had them about 3 weeks. The first one is Simplicity S9890, and I love that. I think that's lovely. So I like this. This is, you know, on the plus size lady, it looks lovely. It's got a low waist there, and I think it'll hang nicely. That's it with floral. Then they've done just a plain lilac one, and the back has a pleat in it. Can you see? Is there a pleat? It's either a pleat or it's a it doesn't just, you know, they used to tell you once upon a time, they used to say this is a such and such dress and it's got this, that and the other, but it's not telling you that. But I believe it's either a pleat or a split. I think it looks like a pleat. Don't know if you can see there. Looks like a pleat. Oh, there. I can see a reflection on there. So, but that is really, really nice. Simplicity S9890. The next one I got is a very similar type of top, but I liked the, not that I will be wearing it, but I thought it'd be quite nice. That one is 9890, and this, I got a 20 to a 28, and a 20 to a 28 is a 42 bust to a 50 bust, and they do a larger size above that. So this is obviously a plus size, but I did like that. I like the shape of it, and my bust is a 44, so I would probably either do the 20 or the 22, probably the 20, because I always find that you've got to, whatever size you do, they always come out too big. This one I bought, I'm not sure why I bought it, to be honest, but I think it was because it was on offer and I thought it'd be quite nice. This is S9610 Simplicity. I can't see me showing my midriff like that, but I like the idea of the pants, and I don't know if is that front or the back. The front must have pockets on. I can't cope with pockets like that on the front of trousers. I don't know why. But it's got a long shirt and a short shirt, very similar to a lot of the patterns that I have anyway. And this is what the back looks like. Where am I looking there? It's got a pleat in the back, or a gather, and it's in fact a gather, but I like this. That must be an opening on the back. It must expose a bit of your flesh. So more for a young one. I think I probably got it so that my granddaughters or some young person might want to have a look at it. But this one in particular is a size 16 to a 24, and a 16 is for a 38 bust, and a 24 is a 46-inch bust. The next one I got, this is another one that's for a larger, for wee bigger ladies, let's say. And it's Simplicity S9269. It's an outfit which I thought was rather nice. Jacket, trousers and a blouse. And I figured that that would be quite nice. The trousers look like they've got elasticated. Yes. And the jacket looks quite flattering on. It's nice when you've got a lady who's quite a bit bigger, so you can see what she looks like. And if I can, where am I looking? There. The trousers are elasticated. You can't beat elasticate when you get older. And the jacket back is not too bad. And the top's very similar to all the tops, a lot of other tops. I'm sure they just use the same pattern. So that's S9269, sizes 18 to 24. This one I love the waistcoat of, and I just think the whole outfit looks nice, but I'm not tall and thin, so it might not look so good on me. It's S9018A. It's an easy to sew. I like that because I think that can hide a lot of bumps and bulges. And I like the trousers are elasticated again. You know, those trousers are probably those trousers which are probably possibly, oh no, they're not elasticated, but you know, I'm sure they probably use the same patterns, but elasticated trousers and a long dress that you could wear underneath. I wouldn't mind trying that to see what it would look like, a nice long plain knit dress to go under there, probably towards the winter. This might be more of a winter type thing, but I'm liking the idea of that. This is that's the back view. Nothing much to say about that. I do like that there and this, as I say. And it's a size extra small to extra large. And that's for a bust 29.5 to 48. So that stretches, you know, quite a few sizes. Quite thick, so there would be a lot to trace off. This is a lovely one as well, very similar to other makes that I've had, but I quite like the look of it. And this is S9702. She's got the V-neck here. She's got it kind of shaped up with a gather and a gathered in tiers. 1, 2, 3 tiers sort of, or you can do it without the tiers. And that's very nice. It's lovely. It's a lovely style. And this one is size 8 to 16. There's the back view. The waist seems to go down a little bit there. You can see it goes down a little bit. And this is for, what did I say, size 8 to 16, and an 8 is a 31.5 bust. Oh God, what I'd give to have a little bust like that. Through to a 16, through to a 38-inch bust. So this isn't going to fit me. Why did I get it? Oh, I got two. I got the same one, 8 to 16. And the 8 to 16 is a 31.5-inch bust to a 38-inch bust. And the same one I got an 18 to 26. And the 18 is a 40-inch bust to a 48-inch bust. So that one, so I've actually got two. Not sure why I've got two, but I've got two. And the last one is an 18 to 26. I like this. I don't know that I would wear it, but I will make it, and possibly, you never know, I might just sell it on or do something with it. I might like it and wear it for a while. It's a Simplicity S9747, and it's an 18 to a 26. And it's basically this coaty dressing gown type thing. What do they describe it as? They don't describe it as anything, but it's like a coaty dressing gown. And it's in 3 different lengths: short, medium and long. Well, that for me will be long. that'll be trailing like Linus. And that's the rear view. I can't see for the reflection there. The review. One's got a frill and one hasn't. I've got a few pieces of like a voile, a chiffon or a voile that I bought. And what, in a sense, I visualized something like this. So I'm tempted either to make something like this or something like the kimono that I made the other day that I quite liked. I think probably the kimono might be better, but that's quite nice. You could make it for a dressing gown, or you could make it just for wearing over trousers. I mean, it's very trendy looking. Whether I would look like mutton dressed as lamb, I don't know. But that's the patterns. So those are the patterns, and I thought you might be interested in seeing those. And here's the man himself. Come here.